welcome, welcome, welcome to The Tonight Show. You're here, you made it, thank you for watching. Well, guys, I want to say congrats to the Cincinnati Bengals and Los Angeles Rams on advancing to Super Bowl 56. Wow. Before the season, the Bengals' odds of winning the Super Bowl were 150 to 1. Ooh. To give you an idea, there are better odds of finding a rapid test at CVS.
Really?
Than when going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
That's true. I'm sorry. Nope. And this is crazy. The Super Bowl is being played in Los Angeles at the Rams' home stadium. That's right. Even NFL players are working from home. That's right, we're 2 weeks away from the game, and experts are wondering if a Super Bowl doesn't have Tom Brady, can it still be called a Super Bowl? I don't know. But this is the Bengals' first Super Bowl appearance since the 80s. Ooh. A lot has changed since then. Back then, inflation was high, there was tension with Russia, and our president was in his late 70s. Oh, and I saw that during the Bengals-Chiefs game, this just made me laugh. Did you see the announcers over at CBS?
Oh, yeah.
They have a great crew. They're awesome over there. But at CBS, they're doing the halftime, talking about the stats and all that stuff. But they were just in the worst spot you could possibly be on the field to talk. But take a look at the halftime report. Look at this.
As we welcome Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter Walker Hayes.
The minute of this game, the last 2 minutes of that half, they score, they go down, start at what point do you consider blitzing Patrick Mahomes? I have no idea what you just said. I can't hear a thing anybody you said.
Oh my God. The speakers are right behind them. Yeah. It's the first football game where the announcers got concussions. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, the big football story from this weekend wasn't the games. On Saturday, ESPN reported that Tom Brady is retiring. But then conflicting reports came out that said Brady hasn't decided yet. See, this is what happens when you let the CDC announce your retirement. You just don't know. 6 feet, 3 feet, 5 days. Brady was like, I just wanted to see who was happy so I can destroy them. Let's switch gears. Over the weekend, former President Trump held a rally in Texas where he talked about running for president and said that if he won, he might pardon the January 6th rioters. Even the rioters were like, oh no, I don't think you can say that. Yeah, there's no way, no better way to announce a presidential run than saying, I'll empty the jails. Well, the East Coast is recovering from a massive blizzard that hit this weekend. Boston actually got one of its biggest snowstorms ever, but that didn't stop people from going out. Watch this.
Have you heard the news about Tom Brady?
Yes.
What do you make of all that?
I don't know. Is Gronk next then, I guess?
I thought he had a couple more years, maybe.
Where are you guys trying to go right now?
We're trying to find an open Dunkin' Donuts.
Can't find them.
Come on. No, we didn't. Dude, that's not. That's real.
Oh, my God.
We did not do anything to that tape. That is real. Tom Brady, Dunkin' Donuts, if they snuck in a David Ortiz, they would have summoned the ghost of Sam Adams. How Boston is that? Fantastic. you might have a problem when you're willing to put on ski goggles just to get a pineapple colada. But they weren't the only ones who braved the weekend's blizzard. I saw that a couple in Rhode Island actually got married outside during the storm. Here's the happy couple there, right there, yeah. And this is real. Here's everyone who showed up to the wedding. Yeah. You know it's cold when you're something blue are your guests. And finally, a man who lives on a lake in Canada snapped a photo of a figure that formed when waves splashed onto the shore and froze around a lamppost. People are saying it looks like the Grim Reaper. Take a look at this. Ooh. Everyone thought it was the Grim Reaper until they heard Grandpa whisper, "Help! Help me!" After days of speculation, today NFL superstar Tom Brady officially retired. Ooh. Yeah. Man, when they said everyone's quitting their jobs during the pandemic, they meant everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. To celebrate retirement, Brady ate 1 carb and instantly gained 40 pounds. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. But this is amazing. Brady is walking away with the most Super Bowl appearances, wins, and MVPs. It's strange to say, but he's basically the NFL's Meryl Streep.
Oh,
That's right. I think it was time to go, though. Seriously, you know you've been around a long time when you debuted the same year as the Thong Song. That's true. That's right. Right now, Brady's backup in Tampa is Googling where to buy a football helmet. Let's switch gears. Apparently, former President Trump's advisors have convinced him to stop promoting vaccines because they're worried it could alienate his supporters. Don't worry, to win back his non-science supporters, Trump's going to stare at an eclipse again. That's right, Trump is desperate right now. He's like, I'll do anything in this whole flat world to win you guys back. Hey guys, listen to this. Yesterday, officials caught a chicken trying to sneak into the Pentagon. No one really knows what happened. The story is so bizarre, it actually inspired me to write a tiny song. Hope you like. There's a chicken at the Pentagon and no one knows why. Are you a normal clucker or an undercover spy? A chicken at the Pentagon and we're at a loss. Should we throw you in a prison or some barbecue sauce? A chicken at the Pentagon, oh what a crisis. You get 25 to life or 11 earth spices. The Pentagon chicken, you have our attention. You're raising our suspicion cause you do not have permission. Our government panic stricken, their heart rates have quickened. Were you on a mission or are you just finger looking good? Back to the monologue. Some business news. Tesla just released and sold out of a new product called the Tesla Mic, which is a set of karaoke microphones for their cars. It's gonna be weird when drivers get pulled over and they're like, "What's the problem, officer? I thought the speed limit was 55. Oh, this is cool, too. I saw that Jason Momoa is joining the Fast and Furious franchise. It's amazing. And Vin Diesel is so excited about it, he actually made his own teaser trailer for the next movie. Vin made this. Check this out.
There's nothing more important than family. And families get stronger when you add a new person to the family. Jason Momoa is leaving his fish family behind to join us, his land family. But the fish are still his family. The sharks are family. The dolphins are family. Anything in the ocean is family. Even the boats. Fast and Furious 10, Norwegian Cruise Line.
That's what it's about? That's what it's... Wow. Amazing. Some TV news. Paramount Plus just started production on a Grease prequel series called Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies. Yeah. It takes place before the movie Grease, so in this one, the actors are only 45. Oh. Jeez, I sinned. I can't believe I'm in high school. It's like crazy. Yeah, I know, yeah. My hip broke. Yeah, I can't believe I gotta get hip surgery right. Guys, there was a new episode of The Bachelor last night. You know we love The Bachelor here, and it was a pretty intense showdown between Elizabeth and Shanae. Now, the show can get pretty emotional, so I thought we could help. So here's that moment, revoiced with the least emotional person we know, Siri. This is... Let's get serious.
Let's get serious. I was upset. I'm mad. I'm angry. In the house. You make me uncomfortable. You're toxic. Can you define a circumstance of bullying? Sounds silly, but you made shrimp the other day, right? You asked if I wanted some. I was like, wow, she's being really nice. I'm gonna take some shrimp. Me and Eliza make some shrimp and I'm like, hey, let me exchange the offer. Let me see if these girls in the hot tub want some shrimp. Does this sound like bullying to you? Please, Elizabeth. No one turns back to even say just. Shanae, no thank you. I wasn't outside when you offered people shrimp. You were in the hot tub. I have been nothing but kind and respectful to you in the house, and as soon as Clayton comes around, all of a sudden you have an issue. I just need I'm gonna step away for a second. Okay. Elizabeth looks like Cruella de Vil. Where's your Dalmatians, bitch?
I was in the hot tub when you offered shrimp. I was in the hot tub when you offered shrimp.
Can you give me some shrimp?
I got to know you had shrimp. I was in the hot tub. It's the best. Guys, I read that the world's top producer of mozzarella cheese said that it expects shipping delays to last all year. Meanwhile, Papa John's released a statement that said, yeah, this doesn't affect us whatsoever. And finally, in an effort to save money on cleaning crews, a city in Sweden is using crows to pick up cigarette butts off the streets. I guess some birds are destined for the Pentagon while others are stuck picking up old cigarettes. Today is Groundhog Day. Yeah, that's right. We spend all year telling people to trust science, then ask a large rodent to predict the weather. Yep, this morning, Puxatawny Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Asked why, Phil said, because it's February. You guys have calendars up there? Meanwhile, in New York, we have a groundhog, and this is real. In New York, we have a groundhog named Staten Island Chuck. It's true, and he predicted early spring. He's just like Puxatawny Phil, but he wears a gold chain and smokes a vape pen. Yeah, spring. This made me laugh. On Sunday, Queen Elizabeth will celebrate 70 years as monarch, but more than 10,000 souvenirs marking her Platinum Jubilee actually has a typo. This is real. It says Platinum Jubilee. 10,000. Look at this. This is real. Check it out. Zoom in. Oh. The Queen was not happy with the plates. For the rest of the day, her office sounded like a Greek wedding. Opa! Some sports news today. The Washington football team finally announced their new name. Yep, unfortunately, due to a typo, they're going to be called the Washington Jubblies. Oh. Actually, Washington changed their name to the Commanders. They made the announcement today, but the name was actually leaked last night when a news helicopter spotted it on a banner inside the stadium. Take a look at this. Yeah, going out there, and they just kind of zoom in, and then they saw that. News director was like, what else you been looking at with that camera, Lou? Every creep with the drone was like, damn, way to up the game. That's bad, not bad. And today there's another football story everyone's talking about. Former Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores is suing the NFL and 3 teams claiming that their hiring practices are racist. Right now, NFL coaches are so white, when they win the Super Bowl, they're like, I'm going to Vineyard Vines. Listen to this, guys. NASA just announced that it will retire the International Space Station in 2031 by crashing it into a remote part of the Pacific Ocean. The plan was put together by the new head of NASA, Vin Diesel. Wouldn't it be safer to just leave it in space? I know there's plenty of room. It's called space. People are like, I need space. Like, that is space. Hey, get this. I read that malls across the country have been filling empty retail spaces with surgery centers. Oh. Yeah, that explains the story I saw the other day called Appendectomy in Fitch. And I go, no, I get it. And finally, a man in Canada spent 3 days building a giant snow bear in his backyard as an early Valentine surprise for his wife. Take a look at this thing. Yeah. Yeah, when he said surprise, she was like, Doug, I watched you make this for 3 days. The 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics are officially underway. Yeah. I love the Winter Olympics because it features the last people on Earth who stuck to their New Year's resolutions. At this year's games, there are 91 countries, 109 events, and 1,000 chances to hear the person next to you say, I could do that. But tonight was the big opening ceremony, and it's fun because the only place you see all the countries get together are the Olympics, the United Nations, and International House of Pancakes. So it's exciting. I read that the official motto of the Winter Games is "Together for a Shared Future." Yeah, when asked where they got it from, China said a Verizon commercial. Meanwhile, the Winter Olympics have an official mascot. Did you see him? Named Bing Duen Duen. Here he is. Oh. Yeah. Looks like something you'd win at a rest stop claw machine. Well, so that every Olympic sport has its own unique logo designed for the games. For example, here's cross-country skiing. Yep. And it turns out, while these are official Olympic logos for Olympic events, they're also unofficial logos for other things.
Really?
I'll show you what I mean. Here's another logo. Officially, it's speed skating. Unofficially, it's your aunt who just found out about dabbing. Here's the next logo. Officially, it's luge. Unofficially, it's trying to fit in your jeans from 2019. Here's another logo. Officially, it's figure skating. Unofficially, it's that annoying show-off at yoga class. It's like, all right, yeah. Here's the next logo. Officially, it's skeleton. Unofficially, it's Spotify's stock price. That's interesting.
Oh, wow. They have a logo for that?
That's the logo for it. Wow. Finally, here's one last logo. Officially, it's short track speed skating. Unofficially, it's racing to get the last rapid test at CVS. Hey, I heard it's going to be the first Winter Olympics that relies almost entirely on fake snow. Oh. Yeah. They're going to create over 1 million cubic meters of fake snow, or roughly one Hallmark Christmas movie. Well, get this. A company in China just unveiled plans for a plane that can fly 7,000 miles per hour, which means that you can go from New York to Beijing in 60 minutes. Yeah, the company said it's perfectly safe and that your eyeballs return to their sockets within hours of landing. Some business news. I saw that Costco is once again selling a 5-pound tub of Pillsbury cookie dough. Imagine picking up a 4-pound tub of cookie dough and going, nah, I wanted the bigger one. Yep, Americans saw 5 pounds of cookie dough and said, do you believe in miracles? Yes! And finally, you guys, we're also excited that the Olympics are here, and of course, we're pumped for all the big events, but there's one event that doesn't always get the most attention. Until now. Take a look.
You think that all Olympic sports are glory, gold and fame. They're not. But there is one that stands above that isn't playing games.
No more games.
Forget the slopes, forget the ice. No, I'm not in the mood.
Not tonight.
Cause what I want to sing about tonight is double luge. 2 bars, 1 sled, try to stay alive. Bodysuit, skin tight, we're swooning while we thrive. First sprint, then slide, the hard work never ends. We shoot through all the tubes just like a colon cleanse.
Oh, wow.
Flying fast, making turns in sync with my teammate. I whisper in his ear,